Hello, welcome back to my channel, welcome to this week's Calorie Crush. As usual, I've no idea what week it is. Is it week 11? It is, it's week 11. Week 11 of year 2. So I've been doing this now for 1 year and 11 weeks. And for those who are new to my channel, I am following a calorie controlled diet most of the time, aiming to eat under 2,000 calories a day, and I use the NutriCheck app to track my progress. I'm not sponsored by NutriCheck, it's just that people always ask. That's what I use. It's a simple app in which you input what you're eating. It has databases containing all the branded foods and all the other foods as well. You just put in what you're eating and it tells you how many calories you've consumed. I had a much better week. I do seem to follow this pattern of having a self-destruct week followed by a much better week followed by another self-destruct, and I'm trying to break that pattern. I don't want to carry on that way, but I had a much better week. My head was back in the game. I tried really hard to stay within calories. The first few days of the week a little bit shaky. I was only slightly over 30 calories here or there. Now the thing with calorie counting is it's not an exact science. For example, if you are using the calories that are printed on a pack of branded foods, you are relying on an average there anyway, because those are averages based on the manufacturer's ingredients. Who knows whether you've got the exact amount of calories it says on the pack is what I'm saying. So it's not an exact science anyway. So 30 calories over, really not an issue. And that's how I was for the first few days of the week. And then I really kind of buckled down a bit further and did really well for the rest of the week. My head was totally in the zone. And I didn't have too many things to challenge me either. I did have a couple of pre-made meals ready for me last week. So I have been trying out Green Chef, which I will be talking about in another video at some point. Again, not sponsored. I just decided I would try some of these meal kit subscription services. And I've been trying out Green Chef. So I had a couple of Green Chef meals, and I was lucky that they were the ones that I had, well, I said lucky, the ones I had chosen were quite low in calories. The box they've sent me this week, I did not choose. I forgot to get on and do my choices, so they send you a random assortment, and they're not as low in calories, so that's going to be slightly more of an issue this week. But I had a couple of Green Chef meals. You'll see those in the food diary, and they went really well, so that was nice. And they all made 2 portions. I had more bread this week. Now, as you know, I've been trying to avoid bread because it was getting out of hand. But this week I've been eating a lot of homemade soup. I made some roasted carrot soup, and then I made a general vegetable, what this all needs using up kind of soup. And for me, I need bread with soup. Soup without bread is a disappointing experience. So I've introduced a little bit more bread back in, but I've made sure to have the small loaves, and I've tried to avoid white bread. Not always been successful, but tried to avoid it. So when we get on the scales, we'll see if that's had an issue. I think the snacking was better this week. I know I didn't record all the snacks. When I say didn't record, they're all recorded in my calorie totals. I just don't necessarily film them all. And that's something I've tried to remember to do, but don't always remember. I know I've been better, and I've eaten more eggs this week, because I know that eggs fill me, I know they're good for protein, and so I've tried to incorporate more eggs into my diet as well this week. A couple of times I've had eggs for breakfast, which is always nice. The weather's turned colder, and so I've been back on the porridge. Quite like porridge for a winter breakfast, and I've eaten quite a lot of fruit again this week. So it's been an okay week. I did have a really nice ready meal. That was Marks and Spencer's, and it was braised lamb in red wine sauce. It was only 346 calories, and it was really nice. I added a pile of cabbage to that one to bulk it out a bit, and it was really enjoyable. So all in all, I feel like I've had a really positive week food wise. Nothing much has challenged me. I didn't eat out very much. Not through a conscious I'm not eating out, but partly because I had these meal kits, so that definitely helped. Having the meal kits to do made me aware that I've got food, I've got a plan for tonight, so I don't need to eat out. But also because Natalie's work schedule didn't really allow for us to eat out very much. It just didn't come up. I ate out with Mum as usual. So yeah, I feel like it's been a much better week. Have a look at the food diary. I'll hop on the scales. I'll get Mary just in case. Monday breakfast, melon with yoghurt and coconut choc shot. 120 calories. At lunch I've just had this, which was the Green Chef rosemary and garlic butter steak with cheesy broccoli and roasted plum tomatoes. And it was 698 calories. And this is my dessert for 96 calories. Evening meal is another Green Chef meal. Lemongrass sticky rice and beef, something like that. and it is 573 calories. Breakfast on Tuesday, I've got 3 eggs in an omelette, half a tomato, and there's 30 grams of mature cheese in there, and I've got a blob of ketchup. Tuesday, lunch, fish, chips and pea puree. Evening meal on Wednesday, I've got homemade carrot and coriander soup and a piece of bread with butter. Breakfast on Wednesday, 2 scrambled eggs, 1 piece of toast with tomato ketchup instead of butter. Lunch, I've got jacket potato with roasted vegetables and a side salad and some chicken bites. A little afternoon snack. Wednesday's evening meal is some more of the roasted carrot soup. I've got a ciabatta roll from Marks and Spencer's and some rice cakes for dessert. Thursday's breakfast for 231 calories is melon, strawberries, grapes, coconut, choc shot and coconut yoghurt. Lunch on Thursday, I've got steak with mashed potato, 1 onion ring and then a little bit of salad and a mushroom. Evening meal on Thursday is a hoisin duck wrap, 361 calories, and I've also got a barbecue chicken fillet. These are about 50 odd. 58. Friday breakfast, oat so simple coconut porridge with strawberries and choc shot, 257 calories. It's 3:45 and this is the world's latest lunch. I've got a turkey breast and ham salad and 4 nacho chicken bites. Evening meal on Thursday is a M&S ready meal. It is this lamb with red currant gravy. It is 346 calories for the pack. I have added a mountain of cabbage. I'm not very good at working out how much cabbage to chop up for one person, and I've done too much, but cabbage is really low in calories, so I'm going to fill up on cabbage today. Breakfast on Saturday, I've got 2 boiled eggs with 2 slices of a small loaf Lidl seeded bread and 10 grams of butter. Saturday lunch is a little individual tomato and mozzarella frittata from Lidl's. They're 164 calories. I also had Pom Bears and a Bliss chocolate bar. Saturday's evening meal, M&S sweet and sour chicken takeaway, 621 calories. My dessert on Saturday night is 130 grams of strawberries with 110 grams of yoghurt and some choc shot. Breakfast on Sunday, mushrooms, sausage, beans, bacon, egg, hash brown. Sunday lunch, I've got lamb, a couple of roasties, a stuffing roll, veg and a, what's this called? Yorkshire pudding. A Yorkshire pudding. Saint bar, 97 calories. Last week I weighed 282 pounds. It's Monday, it's scales time. It's 279.2. That's 279.5 when I round it up. That is a loss of 2.5 pounds and I am under 20 stone. Well, I fetched her, but it turns out she wasn't needed. 2.5 pounds off. That is the damage undone from last week, so well done, Mary. I think you helped. The damage undone from last week, a little bit more on top, and best of all, it means that I've now lost 7 stone, 2.5 pounds, which means I am half a pound under 20 stone. For the first time in, I actually don't know how many years, at least a decade, probably more. I don't remember when I tipped over the 20 stone mark. At least 10 years. Maybe between 15 and 18 years since I was last under 20 stone. I'm under 20 stone for the first time in all those years. I'm nowhere near where I'd like to get to. People often ask me if I have a target, and I have a sort of a number in my head that I've never said out loud really, but it goes back to the weight that I was just after I'd had Natalie, literally just after, within a week of having Natalie. I'd like to be the weight I was then, and bear in mind how fat I thought I was then. I'd love to be back there. But yeah, I'm chuffed to bits with 2.5 pounds off this week, and I'm chuffed to bits to be under 20 stone for the first time in years. Now, I'm recording this on Wednesday morning. I normally record it on Monday, and I'm recording it on Wednesday because I had a really busy couple of days trying to get a load of eBay listings done. And what I will tell you now, and be honest now, is I've had a really bad couple of days since getting on the scales Monday morning. I always weigh on a Monday morning. Since getting on the scales and saying that Monday morning, I've had a real sabotagey couple of days. I've celebrated getting under 20 stone by probably eating enough to get me back over. But I'm saying that now because I want to draw a line under it right now, here, Wednesday morning. I've had a good breakfast today. Let's draw a line. I've got 5 days to undo any damage that I might have done in the last 2 days. I don't want to be back over 20 stone again next Monday. I really don't. That would be so annoying. So I'm owning up to it now, telling you here and now that I've had a bad couple of days. I've been a little bit, not horrendous, but a little bit off the rails, a little bit. Like I said, Monday I celebrated, and I celebrated with McDonald's breakfast, so that's always bad news. But you'll see that. You'll see it all next week, because obviously we're talking about the week before. I haven't yet started with my Meal Prep King book, and the reason I haven't started with that yet is because of having these Green Chef recipes that I've been trying out. So I'm going to finish those Green Chef recipes this week. Having said that, it's Tammy's birthday, we're out for a meal tonight, so I won't be cooking a dinner tonight. But I'm going to finish those Green Chef recipes this week, and then next week I'm going to sit down with the Meal Prep King book and work out a plan for that going forward. I feel positive. I know that I've misbehaved over the last couple of days, and I want to pull that back, but I feel positive, and I'm delighted that the result on the scales Monday morning was what I've been looking for. I have a food addiction. Let's not beat about the bush. I have a food addiction. I have a couple of issues in my life over which I struggle to maintain control, and eating well is one of them. I like the bad food. I've said this from the beginning. I like the bad food. I didn't ever want to change the way I ate. I wanted to carry on eating the way I did, but get thinner, and that was never going to work. So I'm constantly battling that one. I'm constantly battling the fact that I am addicted to terrible food and to the sugar in terrible foods. And several of you have said, you need to give up sugar, you need to give up sugar. I know. But I cannot climb the mountain all in one step. I cannot give up the Pepsi Max, which I know is not good for me, and give up all processed sugar and do this all in one go, because I will burst out and go completely off the rails. I have to deal with these things bit by bit. So my focus right now is on getting back to the mindset I was in when I began this, getting back to that and starting to eat well again. At some point I will deal with the other things. Stall, I know you'll be watching. You suggested last week, was it time to move my calories down? And I didn't respond. I hearted the little comment, but I didn't respond because I wanted to mention it in here. If I am struggling at the moment to stay on 2,000, I know that lowering it to 1,800 will make me worse. I know it will. I know that I can lose weight on 2,000. I know I can. Like, my TDEE is still accurate to lose weight on 2,000 calories. I know that I just need to stick to it. And I also know, like I said, that if I lower it, I'll rebel against that even further. It will be lowered when the time comes, but it's not time yet, not for where my head is at. And I am going to give myself permission to not lose weight every week. I'm going to give myself permission to maintain a weight loss. At the end of the day, having lost 7 stone, even if I never lost another ounce, I'd have lost 7 stone, and that would have improved the situation considerably. So I'm going to give myself permission to be okay with not plummeting downwards. If it's a slow trudge downhill, so be it. A minute ago I was climbing a mountain, now I'm trudging downhill. I'm very much mixing my metaphors here. At the end of the day, as I've said 100 times before, this is my journey. It's not anyone else's journey. And what works for some people won't work for me, and what works for me won't work for some others. You have to work out what works for you and stick with it. And I'm still unravelling that. I'm still working out what works for me, but I do know how I respond to certain situations, and I'm learning more about myself every day. Thank you for watching. As I said before, I appreciate all of your input and all your comments, and I'll see you next week, and hopefully I'll have dealt with the demons of the last 2 days and got back on track for the rest of this week. Take care. Bye for now.